So, having spoken on the chart of Zelensky, we understand the plight of the people and we understand the dynamics of what's going on in the country and we understand the transit also. And then, with this in mind, we open the chart of the Vucic, president.
Yes, president of Serbia, yeah.
Okay, president it is. We'll keep it that way then.
Yep.
Not that you want to keep him that way, right?
Yep.
To say. Moon is in the eighth house, the people, right? The people are going to be what? How will they be? How will they experience his rule? Marnasthana?
Absolutely. From Chandra. Yeah, yeah.
So we're back into the same nonsense, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chronicle.
So it doesn't matter whether he wants to be good or he is whatever he is, the people will suffer under this guy. Okay.
100%.
Poor pick of leader, of head of state.
Yep.
Yep. The people have voted wrongly. Whoever voted has voted wrongly. If their vote counted, of course, is the debate that people have nowadays.
The illusion of choice and made up votings. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we dwell a bit further and we ask ourselves, okay, now the second house from Moon is going to be Capricorn, basis this. Sorry, Aquarius, basis this. I correct myself. And we have to now see, all right, this is actually, if we say the current transit of Aquarius, this has been Sati for him, yes to say, right? Yep. But I say we have to pay a bit more attention to the lord of this sign, which is Saturn or Rahu. Rahu is here, so I'm going to take Saturn anyway. Generally, when you talk of Sati, ignore the nodal lordships.
Okay.
Yeah. Moon does not like those nodes lording anything. It kind of pushes it away. For houses, from Lagna, we can use nodes, but not from Moon. Moon doesn't like those nodes. Now, the lord of this is Saturn. Saturn is in Aries. So if Saturn is transiting Aquarius, it is aspecting Aries. So it's still applicable. Some people will say, oh, Visti, isn't it a double whammy? It's not a double whammy. No. There's no such thing as double whammy in Rashi chart. No. No. It is the drishti on this Saturn. Question is, if Saturn enters Pisces, will the problem continue? Because now, I could argue, there is a problem with this person in his office. In Zelensky's case, he is working hard because the people are suffering an invasion. Okay? In Vucic's case, he will think it is his government being invaded. All right? But is that the people suffering? The people are rising up to suffering.
Yep.
Saturn is also Lord of the Moon sign. People are not talking about this. He is supposed to be having a health problem. Interesting.
Yeah.
Right? As if his failing health is affecting his work. We have to make a debate now. Is this person competent given his health concerns? We just don't know what the health concerns are. Maybe they're small. All right? Maybe he got an infection because the egg hit the wrong part of the ear. I don't know. But the point is, there's a problem here, right to say.
Apart from the psychological suffering.
Of course, he must be going through turmoil.
Yeah.
All right? Serious stress and turmoil because he cannot be he cannot avoid what is going on. You know, he's probably thinking that his life and his career is in danger in a big way. Surely he must think that. Any reasonable person, if he has come to be the head of state, he has these thoughts as well. He is not ignorant or arrogant to this fact. Saying a little bit more in this regard. So we do know that this is going on basis the chart. We could then verify using the Navamsha how serious this is, right? We're just going to look at Aquarius. And what is the Navamsha here and here? And we have to put Saturn over here in Aquarius, if you will. And what is Saturn doing over here? Saturn is here. Does it have anything to do with the 10th house in any form? And at first glance, I say, it doesn't look like it. The 10th house is lorded by Jupiter here, or you could say Ketu over here. It doesn't look like there's any such affliction on the 10th house. Now, this could also be appropriate to debate if I'm using the right birth time, I admit. Okay? Like if I move the birth time back to Taurus, which is an option, then this is the 10th house.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't know. I got this chart and I don't know if this chart is accurate. I don't know for
I
sure.
never opened his chart, so yeah, could be.
Then somebody will say, Visti, can you not adjust the birth time? Then I'll say, all right, that would be appropriate. I have an expectation that the Atma Karaka will have some link to the Lagna. Okay? In
Right.
this case, there is no link. The dispositor of the sun, Mars, in this case, is in Taurus. So if Taurus was the Lagna, it would be easy for me to imagine him being the head of state.
Right.
Very easily.
Right.
So I would debate it being a few minutes earlier to be Taurus ascendant, right away. Now, it's very often that a head of state has Atma Karaka in the 12th because they have very fine tastes, second house.
Mm-hmm.
Good shoes, good clothes, expensive cars.
Wines, and also, yeah.
All of that. It's very normal for them. Very normal, Very, very fine tastes. They actually have to dress down for formal events. Okay?
Yeah.
So this could very well be the case, but my insistence on this was not because of his tastes, but because of his power. All right? I want a link between the Atma Karaka and the Lagna, usually the dispositor. Now, some people will listen to this and say, but Visti, he was not born in a royal family. That's the combination for being born in a royal family. Say, not in the Parashara Navamsha. There's a Nadi Navamsha, which tells me about birth. This is telling me about afterbirth, what happens with time, the Parashara Navamsha.
Okay. Yeah.
If somebody asks me, I have that. No, I'm using Parashara because of his current power, not because of his birth power.
Okay.
So that's there. So this might be more accurate. And then we have Saturn transiting the 10th house. Okay, there's a problem here, surely. Now we have confirmed intensity, Rashi Navamsha. We could go to the Dashamsha, but we need to pick up something before going to the Dashamsha. We need to pick up something. We need to bring something with us. All right? And what is that? Remember, we had to go to the Rashi chart. And we now had to see because this is a 10th house issue that we're assuming it's a 10th house issue, we are going to see the 10th Lord, the 8th Lord therefrom, which is Venus. So I'm going to see Venus in the D10 chart. Okay?
Right.
So where is it? Now I open the D10. Where is D10 here? Venus is in Scorpio.
Yeah.
Okay. What is Saturn transiting? Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
You will say, Visti, it's not in trines. But it's aspecting.
Yeah, casting a drishti, yeah.
Yeah, it's aspecting. Now, if Saturn's aspect on this planet is the problem, then it means that there is trouble but no fall. Okay?
Right.
What do you think is going to happen when Saturn enters Pisces then? Now it'll be in trines?
Indeed.
Now there's a problem. So the problem is actually getting bigger for him when Saturn moves into Pisces.
Next 2.5 years, yeah.
This is much, much more serious. If we think Vucic has had a hard time, it's going to get very, very hard when Saturn enters Pisces.
Much worse, yeah.
Very, very hard. This is really worrisome for him.
Yeah.
Okay. What did we not do here? We did not examine whether this is a short-term or long-term problem for him by seeing the 10th itself. How afflicted is it? There's a Papakar tree of 3, 4 malefics on the 10th house.
Oh, yeah.
Mercury, the Karaka, is joined to the malefics. So I have now 2 problems. 1 Bhava, 2nd Karaka. The Lord is either Jupiter or Ketu, whichever I take. Whichever I debate. One is in the 6th therefrom, one is in the 8th therefrom. I will have 3 problems, no matter what I do. The difference is you would hope it is Jupiter that's stronger because Jupiter in the 5th can solve the problem.
Yeah.
Okay? Whereas we are debating if Ketu will solve the problem. Is there another solution? Karaka itself, Mercury, is in the 9th house. This could also solve the problem. It's afflicted, all right, but it can solve the problem. It's in trines. Trines can solve.
Okay.
So if I cannot make out from the Rashi if Ketu or Jupiter is stronger. I think Ketu is stronger in Leo. Let me just open Navamsha just to be sure. And Jupiter is debilitated. So Ketu is stronger.
Right.
So, and somebody will say it's retrograde. I don't care. As soon as I enter Navamsha, I don't care about retrogrades. I want to see which is stronger. Ketu is stronger. Jupiter is weaker.
Yep.
So the only chance of solving this is either through Mercury, which is in trines, or there is a Venus exalted here in the 10th.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're supposed to tell me, but Visti Venus is combust. You'll see down here.
It is, yeah. Yeah.
It's very small there. Fire. It should read like setting, setting, not instant
Is
fire.
Rashi Sandhi, yeah?
It's also in Sandhi, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But being combust is more of a concern for me. Its exaltation has difficulty functioning with combustion,
Right.
or Astangata, we call it. So I don't know how much to trust this exalted Venus. I have to most likely look for
rely on
Mercury as
Mercury,
the
yeah.
solution.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What is the solution that Mercury can present to us? What is ninth house or fourth house Lord or Lagna Lord? What does that? How does this solve anything? Okay? How does it give a solution? Like Lagna Lord in ninth, could that mean I will take a different position? All right?
Step down.
A step down would be the expectation if a Lagna Lord is making a decision for him,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And sincerely, this is very complicated because I'm adding things, all right? If Lagna Lord is joined a Maranakaraka Graha, Rahu is in Maranakaraka Sthana here.
Yeah.
And it's also linked to Rahu, also Rahu.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be accused of doing something illegal.
Mm.
And you could risk going to jail for it. That's what this Mercury is saying. That it's possible that when he gets presented with such a concern, he will have to make a decision that will take him away from his current position. Okay? All right? So you always have to be careful with Lagna Lord in these positions. When it gets very, very afflicted by Dushtana Lords and Rahu, Maranakaraka Lords and Rahu, then a problem arises. Okay? Where there's a risk of being accused of something. And it may be a legitimate accusation for that matter. Mm-hmm.
So we can say in a way that's a win-win situation for him to step down and do whatever students and honest people of this country are, wanting to do, considering the...
See, when you guide a person about their problems in such a scenario, if I were an astrologer of his, I would tell him, run away.
Yeah, foreign country.
Because Lagna Lord is in the ninth, all right?
Yeah.
This is nothing to do with this country. This is some other country. He has to go to another country. His solution will come away from his country.
Yeah.
So it's like saying, fly away. Okay? Run away, fly away. That's the solution for him.
Yeah.
Now, having said so, having spoken in this way, we have now read what's going on with Vucic. Now, people will want me to say, Visti, is it getting hard for him within 6 months, or is it a year, or how long is that? And so then what tools do we have for that? We could use something like Tithi Pravesh. Tithi Pravesh is very useful for this. So if I just dwell on that for a tidbit and open his annual chart, excuse me. This is his annual chart. Maybe make sure that this is all proper here. And what is this? How is his 10th house in this annual chart? 10th house is lorded by Venus or Moon. Venus is exalted, so it should be stronger. It is in the 8th.
Vitra.
It's exalted, but it's in 8th. Okay.
Yeah.
So when your 10th lord is in 8th, it's like losing a job. All right? So if you're a president, it's like losing your position. So there is a very serious risk to him losing his position. Can the exaltation save him? Okay? So Venus is in 8th here. Let us see the Navamsha of Venus. Venus is the problem. I'm sorry, did I look at Mercury? I need to make sure Mercury is also checked. Mercury is not in good shape here, right?
Maranakaraka, yeah, plus.
That's no good. All right, so I have to see Venus and Mercury now in the Navamsha. Venus is in Scorpio. Scorpio is not great for Scorpio and Aquarius are very dire in Navamsha. Venus is there. He will experience cruelty in his work. Is Mercury afflicted? It's only joined Saturn. Is there something else that could be putting more pressure on Mercury? At first glance, I say it does not look like that. Nothing else. All right.
No.
Mercury, however, is combust. So it doesn't matter whether I'm reading Rashi or Navamsha of Mercury, combustion will affect all the divisional charts of Mercury. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I open the Dashamsha chart in the Tithi Pravesh again, just to see what that Venus wants for him. Venus is what? Venus is in the fifth house. Fifth house means if he's experiencing a problem, it's coming from the people, firstly.
Yeah. Which is, yeah.
And, yes, and that people problem is in fifth. In fifth means new job,
Mm-hmm.
not your current job.
Mm-hmm.
But that is what he's going to end up trying to do. He's going to try and place himself in a different role, a different position. All right? He is not in charge. Somebody else is in charge. All right?
Yes.
And that may not work to his advantage, I say to you. In the Rashi chart, if you notice, Jupiter was in 10th house.
Yes, in the Rashi chart
Yeah. I'll just show you here.
of Tithi Pravesh.
Yeah, same. Tithi,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jupiter's
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
So Jupiter
Yeah, yeah.
wants to help him, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
This is his solution now. We're going to open the D10 and see how he will solve the problem. Jupiter's in 7th. Lagna Lord in 7th, leave.
Mm.
He will try to put himself in a different position, but what his solution, the right thing to do for him is to leave.
Yeah. If doesn't work, yeah, yeah, leave and run. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
this is me. So now this is advice is leave, but he will try to place himself in a different position and people will still give him cause problems due to that.
Right, right, right.
So this is what he's going to do. We expect him to step down and say somebody else is in charge. He will say that there's an investigation going on.
Mm-hmm.
He will try to pull the strings in the back. He will act as if he is not at head of state, somebody else is. So the profile will be somebody else is in charge, right?
I see
And
a
he
lot
will
of,
hide in the background.
yeah, I see a lot of guilt game here.
Then what will happen is
Mm.
that people will oppose that. They will call his bluff, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and then it'll become dangerous for him. Okay? Because now he's saying, I'm a private person. So now people will say, all right, we don't believe you. And then there'll be issues that arise from that. And the solution Jupiter tells here is you have to leave. You have to go away. You have to, in fact, leave the country.
Got it.
But this is advice. We don't know if he will follow the advice, but we can see the issues arising. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right. We did so much.
We did.
Is it right for us to open Trump's chart now? Just
We
for a
can.
quick look?
We can.